check and a visual check. So if you guys can hear me and if we're streaming in 1080p, just go ahead and give us a thumbs up in the chat, and we will go ahead and get started here in just a moment. Welcome everybody to Manhattan, New York City, on the corner of East 56th Street and Madison Avenue. We'll get started in just a moment. Cool, let's get started. It's a pretty rainy and miserable night out in New York. That's all right. Just a few announcements. Tomorrow, there probably will not be a live stream. I'm going to be flying out to Miami, Florida. So the flight is right around 6:30, so I should probably land 9:30. So I don't know, it's going to be cutting it close. We're either going to not be on at all, or we will be on from downtown Miami and Brickell. So stay tuned for that. But thank you all for joining tonight. It is March 2nd, 2024. It's about 9:15 p.m. Eastern time here in New York City. We're standing on the corner of East 56th Street and Madison. Now it is Saturday night, so we're not really going to be too heavy on the financial topics. We're going to try to, explore some new neighborhoods. Maybe we'll go to the Lower East Side tonight. We haven't been there in quite some time, but it was pouring raining today. I mean, almost all day was hammering rain, and it's not that bad right now. Rain pretty much stopped. It's just this misty type of rain, but it's very cloudy. As you can see, we're looking at 432 Park Avenue right here, and you know what? You can't even see the top third of it. It's so cloudy. We will not be able to rewind tonight on the stream because I forgot to put that setting on, so not to worry. I think we'll be all right, even though we can't rewind. So we'll go ahead and say hello to everybody in the chat, and we'll go ahead and get started on this very wet and rainy type day. But just a quick announcement, we actually may have to put the umbrella up because the lens is going to get all loused up, I guess. But just a quick announcement, we did send out the Behind the Street newsletter on Thursday, so go ahead and check your email if you haven't done so already. This was the 4th issue of 2024, and I think we covered a lot of important topics. Covered a lot of important topics. We talked about emerging markets. We spent a lot of time talking about Japan. Spent a lot of time talking about India, as well as the one and only Mexico, who I think is going to respond quite favorably to the shift up and the shake up in the logistics and supply chain world out there, right? As we have a lot of onshoring, moving a lot of the manufacturing capacity, supply chain away from China. I think India, as well as Japan and Mexico, is set to benefit. So we wrote about that. And then we sort of spoke about how we can use the newfound strength in a lot of the boutique investment banks, right, that are all trading near 52-week highs and all-time record highs as kind of a gauge to how the market is opening up, right? Houlihan Lokey, we talked about Jefferies, all of the boutiques we covered, the ones that are publicly traded, and huge earnings rebound, major earnings rebound, also major earnings rebound for private equity. We spoke about Apollo, Global Management, publicly traded under the ticker symbol APO. And then we also talked about KKR, major earnings rebound for 2024. So yeah, once again, that's kind of what we wrote about. So if you haven't gotten it, just check your email, or if you want to sign up to receive our free investing newsletter, we publish every other Thursday right as the market closes. You can go ahead and scan the QR code on your screen, punch in your email, and that'll bring you to our Substack. Last but not least, we also included an exclusive property tour of the last available sponsor unit at Billionaires Row's 157 West 57th Street. It's the last 1-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom on the market, with just under 400 square feet of dedicated outdoor space. It's only one of 2 units in the entire building that has dedicated outdoor space. If you want to see that tour, just go ahead and scan the QR code, punch in your email, and you will be able to receive it. All right, Swearworks, good to see you. Thanks so much. Sharon, Austin City Limits, Sunshine After Rain. Peter, good to see you. Sunshine NYC, welcome. Bree Grams, Alex Jonestown, good to see you. Patricia Ivory, Michelle K, Gadot, Kimberly, Smile. Looks like we got everybody. Sea Devil is here. What's going on? SK8, welcome. The Short Guy, Steve from Buffalo. It's Tom. We've been enjoying the new neighborhoods. Yeah, I think that's going to be a new addition to the show. I was thinking about it. Hold on, let me try to wipe the lens. Now, I always say I'd rather have it raining, like normal rain, as opposed to the, kind of little sprinkle rain that we're getting right now, because it's pretty difficult on the camera lens. But, I was thinking about the channel, and what I want to try to do, because I've been getting a lot of emails, and I do take the emails into consideration. A lot of you are requesting that we do individual neighborhood narrated kind of walking tours, and a lot of you want to see the subway. A lot of you want to see the New York City subway as well. So we will, we'll do the best we can. We'll do the best we can. So maybe every other day, I would say at 4:15 p.m. we'll be posting, a narrated walking tour of a different neighborhood in New York City. We'll do that every other day. I think it'll be cool. Oscar, what's up? Omar's here. Welcome. We are currently at the corner of East 57th Street and 5th, but we're going to be crossing all the way to the other side. We're going to the west side, and maybe we'll check out Hell's Kitchen. Then maybe we'll go all the way down to the East Village. I mean, today was just not a good weather day in New York City. It was absolutely torrential rain pretty much all day. And it just stopped all but probably about 30 minutes ago. Hey, Vinny, what's up? Thanks for joining us. And tomorrow, we may or may not be live. But if we are, we will be reporting live from downtown Miami. I'll be in Miami, Florida for about a week and a half. Looking forward to it. Pretty excited about it. Now this is 5th Avenue and West 57th Street. We're looking at the Aman New York Hotel. This is one of the most luxurious hotels in New York City. And I believe they even have some residents in here too. The lobby is amazing. Every time I walk past the lobby of the Aman New York, it smells fantastic. Like they have, I don't know what type of scent they have over there, but it's absolutely fantastic. RPT says all packed from Miami. Yeah, I usually, I travel light. I usually only travel with this, quite literally. I just get on the plane with this thing, which is pretty much where I keep my laptop and all that other junk, because I have all my stuff in my house. But look, I'm excited for South Florida. I'm just hoping, really hoping that, what was I gonna say? I'm hoping that it's warm. I want a few days of 80 degrees. It's been some tough weather here in New York, so we'll see. And additionally, I'm excited to take some content down there for all of you. There's just amazing, talking about real estate down there. I mean, they're just building so many interesting new towers, right? It seems as if they're almost overbuilding in Miami. We're gonna be looking at the site where Ken Griffin and Citadel Securities is gonna be building their main corporate headquarters. We're gonna be doing a full walking tour around that neighborhood. And then we're also gonna be checking out Sunny Isles Beach, where they have the Bentley Design Tower and the Porsche Design Tower. And then last but not least, I'm gonna try to see if I can get to the exact site in Brickell, where they're gonna be breaking ground on the Mercedes-Benz Tower. So pretty cool. Dan Sang, what's up? Thanks so much for joining us. JK says hello everybody, glad I could join you. I'm glad you could join us too. Sunshine After Rain says I'm excited for Miami. You and me both, I can't wait. Patrice 2020 says the newsletter was very informative. Thank you, I appreciate that. Thanks so much for reading, it means a lot. We've nearly doubled the size of the newsletter. So I appreciate everybody that's been sharing it, that's been enjoying it. It's been a really good exercise, try to become a better writer and things like that. Andreas, the new Mercedes-Benz Tower in Miami looks amazing. Yeah, I've seen some of the renderings of it. Now, Serhant is the brokerage who is going to be leading sales on that development. So Ryan Serhant, the CEO and founder of Serhant, is going to be leading sales on that, which is pretty cool. Now, I have this theory about Miami, and not to make the whole live stream about Miami, but you know, I'm noticing a lot of rumblings in the condominium market, particularly the older condos. That may create some problems down the line, particularly with a lot of these special assessments, because essentially what happened is after the Surfside tragedy, horrible thing that happened in Surfside, there's a lot of new rules and regulations, and the insurance went up astronomically. So a lot of the older condominiums, I think, are going to have a really tough time selling. And more specifically, I should say, the older condos that are coming up on special assessments, I think you're going to have developers come in and make everybody an offer and say, look, you could either pay all these ridiculous special assessments, or we could buy you guys out at, 2 times your property value. We'll demolish the building and then build a brand new building. So my thesis is that the demand is pretty much going to go away for older condos. There's going to be some not so good things happening in the market. And I think demand for single family homes in non-flood zones is going to boom. That's kind of my thesis. It doesn't mean I'm right, but that's kind of what I'm thinking in the market. We'll see. Wow, good odds. There's no rain next week in Miami. Thursday forecast cleared now. It's weird because I was looking at the forecast and it said it was going to rain on and off every day. But hey, I'll take your word for it. I will definitely take your word for it. Austin City Limits, what's up? Options trading. Just love the newsletter. I was very informed and entertained. Can't wait for Miami. Thank you so much, my friend. Patricia Ivory, good to see you. Johnny Rockberry says, what's up, Tom? Love the Apple Store. Thanks, Johnny. Yeah, I just can't wait to see the palm trees again, 80 degrees, palm trees, can't go wrong. The good news in New York, though, is it's already March. That means we have officially gone through the lion's share of the winter. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get an early spring. Maybe things will start to warm up. And hopefully, here's the big thing, right? Usually in New York, you can have a very miserable March where almost every day it rains and it's cold and it's damp and it's wet and it's dark. Hopefully we don't have that. Who knows? Maybe we'll have an early spring in New York. We'll see. But this winter wasn't all that bad. I don't think we should complain too much. Wasn't all that bad at all. We didn't get any snow either. We got, you know, technically we got some snow, but that was like virtually nothing, right? All right, so we're gonna walk past One Central Park South. This is the Plaza Hotel Residences. And then let's crush all the way down through Times Square. You know, maybe we'll veer off into Hell's Kitchen, take a little bit of a walk around, see what's going on there. And if we have time and if the phone holds up, we'll go all the way to the East Village, which we haven't been to in a long time. I just don't know if there's going to be too many people out and about tonight, just because the weather is so crummy. Hey, Sabrina Fair, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining. Now, as a quick side note, I was sitting in the office just earlier before I started to stream, and we're having a little bit of a bid in gold. It seems as if gold is going for a new all-time record high. We could potentially get it this weekend. So check that out. Look at how misty it is out. So this is Central Park South. You're looking at the Park Lane Hotel. This hotel was completely gut renovated during the COVID pandemic. It's actually a pretty nice place to stay. I've stayed here before the full renovation. Charles Hogg, not a big fan of chopped cheese, to be honest, not a big chopped cheese kind of guy, but this is the Ritz-Carlton Hotel and Residences. This is 50 Central Park South.
Thank you, Sam.
Now, there was an amazing listing here that sold. It was a pied-à-terre style, but it was a 4-bedroom kind of pied-à-terre, and apparently the owner only used it like once or twice a year. I think it sold for about $16 million. Now, this building is my old building right here. This is 106 Central Park South. If anybody's looking to move to New York City and you want to live right on Central Park in a building that's actually kind of affordable, 106 Central Park South is... So there's actually 2 addresses here. This is 100 Central Park South. This is Trump Park East. And then you have 106 Central Park South right here, which is the main Trump Park. It's a great building. Unfortunately, there is scaffolding up. I think they're doing some maintenance. But look at how nice the lobby is. The lobby is quite spectacular, and the elevator banks are all the way in the back. It's an amazing, amazing building. I miss it very much. If I had the opportunity to buy my old rental, I think I would. Coming up on the New York Athletic Club too. Alex, is they have rental units? Yeah, of course. Alex, is how much is a 1-bedroom there? All the 1-bedrooms in the market are not, I would say clear of those, to be honest. Not my cup of tea. Not many views, but they're all like 1 million plus. You could probably get a studio apartment in that building for 500 plus, like 550. But it depends, right? There's a lot of units in the building. It's an older building. However, some units have, the best views of Central Park. It's right on Central Park South. So you're really gonna pay for the views as opposed to the square footage. This is the JW Marriott Essex House. A lot of people don't know this, but you can purchase units inside the Essex House, and you could also rent units too. I think there's some rentals on the market inside the JW Marriott Essex House for like 5,000, maybe 5 or 6,000. Alex, as you were asking about rental units, you could probably get something in there for 2,900 bucks, and they go up to like $30,000. It really just depends. You know, the rentals that you're gonna get there that are 2,900 bucks, they're gonna have no views. It's gonna be very, very, it's just like you're living in a little shoebox. But if you can get a view, some pretty nice stuff there. Joel PM, this is how would one approach a landlord with a purchase offer. You can call them directly, right? Or you could, what I tried to do on my last place, let me wipe the lens again. We're gonna be doing this a lot tonight because it's so misty out. You could try to build in your lease an option. So you could you could go to the landlord and say, hey, I wanna rent at $4,500 a month with the option to buy at the termination of the lease with all of the rent that I paid in the last 12 months going towards the purchase price, if that makes sense. You could structure deals like that. Some people would be open to it, but the thing is, and particularly here on Central Park South, there's not a lot of motivated sellers, which is unfortunate for buyers, right? Because, buyers want to get good deals. They want to move fast on properties, but we just really haven't seen sellers be that motivated. And I think it's because they have a lot of equity in these properties. They've owned them forever, and they don't really need to sell it. I don't know. Hey, JJC Test says, hey Tom, I watched the video of 157, Unit 32D, beautiful and magnificent. Hey, thanks so much. Yeah, it's a very unique 1-bedroom, right? Now it's a 1-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom apartment with just under 400 square feet of dedicated outdoor space. So the list price is $3,950,000. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh my God, for a 1-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom? Yes, I understand, but this is New York City's Billionaires Row. It sits, funny enough that we're talking about it. It sits in this building right here. 157. This was the first building ever constructed on New York City's Billionaires Row, and there's one unit left. I should say one sponsor unit left, and that is Unit 32D. If you want to see what it looks like inside of 157, you could type !57 in the chat. Now you're also really paying for the amenities. A lot of these buildings on Billionaires Row, the amenities are really jaw-dropping. It's actually quite insane. In this particular building, 157 West 57th Street, you have the Park Hyatt Hotel inside your building. So you have all of the amenities of the 5-star hotel whenever you want. Meaning, you can get room service, you can get your dry cleaning, you could have daily maid service. So just like how the maids and the housekeeping come in to the actual hotel rooms, they do that, they can do that every day for your apartment. So it's pretty crazy stuff. You have a private restaurant as well. You have an aquarium. So a lot of these, it's almost like unfathomable, some of the amenities in these buildings. Now, speaking of Billionaires Row, this one is Central Park Tower, and it's the tallest building on New York City's Billionaires Row. 1,550 square feet, or square feet, 1,550 feet tall, I should say. Edward Adams is what was the square footage of that one bedroom. It's just over 1,000 square feet of interior space with 393 square feet of exterior. There's also a Nordstrom in Central Park Tower too. JC, what's up? This is Hello Tom and Friends. Thanks so much. Hey, LA Wave Reviews. Tom, I've seen a lot of Art Deco style one bedroom condos in Miami Beach listed for under $300,000. Good or bad investment as a rental? Well, it's a good question, and you know, without looking at the building, I can't really advise, but I will say this. This is one of the things I'm predicting. And it's funny because we were just talking about this at the very beginning of the stream. Real quick, this is 220 Central Park South. This is the best-selling building on Billionaires Row. Now, here is my prediction, okay? And again, this doesn't mean it's going to come true. This is just my opinion. And the opinion is as follows for Miami. You're going to have a lot of pain in some of these older condominium buildings, particularly the ones that are coming up on special assessments. Because after the Surfside collapse, which is just so horrible and tragic that happened in Surfside, insurance premiums have gone up quite materially, number one. And number two, a lot of the buildings need to have major repairs. So many individuals who have purchased these condos, like even one bedroom, two bedroom condos, a lot of them being older individuals to try to retire, they actually are in a tight spot now because they're like, oh my God, you know, I bought this place cash, but I'm on a fixed income and I can't even pay the insurance on it because it's so ridiculous, and I can't pay the special assessment. So what I think is going to happen is you're going to see a lot of inventory come on the market in older buildings, particularly one or two bedrooms. And there's going to come an inflection point where developers are probably going to go knocking on these doors saying, hey, you could either pay this ridiculous special assessment, right, which could be $20,000, $30,000 a unit to fix the building, or we could just buy everybody out at, you know, 1.5 or 2 times, you know, what your value is. And the reason why developers want to do that, and I've actually been working some of these deals, is because the building is not as valuable as the land that it sits on. Does that make sense? So a lot of these condominiums in South Florida, they're not as valuable as the land that it sits on. So if a developer comes in, buys the whole building, buys everybody out, kicks everybody out, demolishes the building, well, now that land value is worth like 2 to 3 times more because now you can build brand new product. So I would just be careful. You have to really check the working capital of the building. You have to do really strong diligence on, you know, when is there special assessments coming up. And in conclusion to my thesis, I think the following. I think you're going to have a tidal wave of buyers looking at single family homes in South Florida that are not in flood zones, and duplex, triplex style investments. So, you know, again, that's a little bit of a contrarian trade, right? Because there's so much product going up in South Florida, particularly on the condo side. So I think, right, taking the other side of that trade, the scarcity is actually in single family homes. So if you can pick up a single family home in a non-flood zone, I think you're going to do really well over the long term. That's just, you know, my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right, doesn't mean I'm wrong. All right, everybody, look at this. Deutsche Bank Tower, whoa. So in the northmost facing tower with all the lights on, this is the Mandarin Oriental Hotel. And the Mandarin Oriental is a 5-star hotel in New York City's Columbus Circle, but they've also just built residences on 5th Avenue. So if you stay at the Mandarin Oriental a lot, if you like the hotel, you like the vibe, well, maybe you should consider just buying in the Mandarin Oriental Residences, which is the flagship branded Mandarin Oriental Residences on 5th Avenue. Hey, Western Mass Dave, thanks so much for joining us. Always a pleasure to see you. Richie M says, I live in South Florida. Love that. Chad is curious to know if you skated the Lower East Side skate park. I have, one too many times. I'm sure we probably crossed paths. I've eaten it big time down there too. Hurt myself very, very badly many times over on that skate park. RCE says, don't buy condos post 70s that was built. Yeah, you know, you kind of have to be, you know, so, and this kind of ties into our conversation about equities. How many times have you heard me say, you know, stocks are expensive for a reason and stocks are cheap for a reason? It's the same thing in all markets, right? I believe markets are efficient. So to find mispricings in the market is getting increasingly more difficult. So when you see a lot of these condominiums, you're like, whoa, I can get this for $300,000. It's in a great location. Well, let's do some more digging, right? Because why isn't that market price? Chances are they probably have issues with the building. They're coming up on a special assessment. Additionally, I get people all the time emailing me about, you know, apartments that they want to buy in Manhattan, right? Obviously, because they know I'm in real estate, we do the stream, they email me, and they'll send me a building. And they're like, wow, Tom, this building on 57th Street, I can get a studio apartment for $300,000. Like, what's up with this? Could I buy it? I'm like, yeah, well, it's a land lease building. And I mean, we could have a whole conversation about that. So there's always, if you think it's priced too low, there's usually a reason. Now, that doesn't mean you can't get deals in the market, but you just gotta, you know, you just gotta know your way around. And there's a lot of nuance. There's a lot of interesting things. So anyway, I'll digress. We are now at 59th Street, Columbus Circle, Jazz at Lincoln Center, West 60th Street, and Broadway. Look at how beautiful 220 Central Park South looks in the mist over here. Crazy, right? JC's, Tom, what is the market? And you're thinking like to turn these old buildings into storage space that one can rent out instead of condos. I think there's actually a lot of overbuilding in the self-storage market, but it is definitely a good business model. I haven't really had my hand in it at all. I'm not too well versed in it, but I mean, what are your thoughts on the self-storage market? I've heard a lot about it. I've heard a lot of people wanting to get into it, but I'm just not super well versed in it. Wow, Stan says the first Alaska air door blew off. The suit was just filed by 3 people for $1 billion. Holy crap. Yeah, guys, what's going on with the airlines lately? Now, is this just... Okay, hold on. Let me not jump to conclusions. Because I fly often, right? I fly quite often. And my concern... Oh, look at this. They're going to have a Capital One cafe coming here. So remember we were talking about all of these Capital One cafes popping up all over the place? Well, there's going to be one right here on the corner of West 60th Street and Broadway. This is a brand new development too. However, I believe they're going to be rentals. So a lot of the times developers, when the market's not too good, they'll opt for rentals as opposed to, as opposed to sales, which is unfortunate because I think this would be a really good sales building. be honest. I totally forgot what I was saying. It's been a long week. Anyway. Oh yeah, the Alaska airline. Is it true that there's a lot more issues? I feel like I turn on the news and there's an issue with this plane, an issue with that plane. It's like a constant thing. It's pretty concerning. I don't know what's going on. Now, the worst year for flying, for me, I don't want to speak for anybody else in the chat. The worst year for flying by far was 2021. Every single time I got on a plane, there was a mechanical issue, it was delayed, it was just horrible. I don't know what is going on. Hey, CAB, this is New York Community Bank tanking big league. It is tanking big league. Well, they have a lot of exposure to rent-stabilized apartments. Now, I don't want to get political tonight in the live stream, but I've always said every single thing that the city has done to make rent more affordable, over the long term, it'll actually do the exact opposite. It'll make things way more expensive for everybody. But anyway, so we are now outside the Mandarin Oriental, New York, right here at 80 Columbus Circle. This is a 5-star hotel. Stance is Boeing, the golden child. A lot of problems with Boeing. I think it's the Boeing 747 MAX, right? That has all the problems. NAV 407 says Boeing made a big mistake contracting out the manufacturing of the 737 MAX. I was reading some articles about it, but I'm not a big aviations guy, and I have all but zero expertise there. And it kind of said the same thing. There was a lot of shoddy work because they were trying to cut corners and save money. And I mean, that's incredibly concerning, being that you know, the margin of error in air travel is pretty much next to nothing. Yeah, hopefully we have a whole new set of aviation entrepreneurs that'll come out and revolutionize the industry. Hey, John, this is Tom. The 737 MAX had that software issue that caused 2 crashes and then the door. Now, obviously, flying is still much, much safer. I mean, flying commercial is much safer than flying private. There's always those issues with private aviation because the aircraft is smaller, I guess. This is the one train. You can get it downtown right here at Columbus Circle. This will take you all the way to South Ferry. Stan says we need a good rail system like Europe has. You know, the thing is, the United States is a huge country. I think that's the problem, right? I probably shouldn't use the word problem. It's not a problem. It's just kind of what we have to work with. So to have a cross-country rail, it's obviously going to be way more expensive to do that here. But I would be all for it, right? I would totally be all for that. It's just a lot of our, particularly most cities in the U.S., we've prioritized vehicles over public transportation, right? If you've ever read about Robert Moses, things like that, a lot of the infrastructure has been prioritized with vehicles as opposed to, you know, public transit. I think New York City is probably the greatest city in the United States for public transit by far. Hey, Ali Star, what's going on? Bills is moving a part of San Jose. Oh, you're moving to a part of San Jose this week that is on light rail. Wow. Well, congratulations on the move. That's awesome. Very cool. All right, let's start to head downtown now. Totally got sidetracked, which is all right. Glad it stopped raining. We might as well showcase the congestion pricing. So here it is. Ooh, the big bad congestion pricing. And you have a pretty good shot of 15 Central Park West, nicknamed the Limestone Building. And there was a big boycott, big protest. People are rising up against the congestion pricing, but the city is saying tough. You gotta pay it. Zozo Bob says the Brightline has worked in Florida. Yeah. Oh. I think that guy just blew a tire right there. You guys see that? The Mercedes just blew a tire. That's unfortunate. One Central Park West. Not to sound like a broken record, but I've always said, I believe, anywhere from 57th Street in between 8th Avenue and 5th Avenue, going all the way up to about 62nd, I would even push it to 65th Street on either side, is always going to do really well in terms of the real estate environment. I think it'll always hold its value, because Central Park is just so iconic, and to be able to live amongst all of this chaos we have going on in New York City and be able to walk outside your door and have a little bit of reprieve, so to speak, that's always going to be extremely desirable, particularly if you have a view of Central Park. That's another thing. Your views will always be protected. You know, if you have a Central Park view and you live on Central Park South, your views are always going to be protected. It's just impossible that your view is going to get blocked. You know, nobody's going to build in Central Park. Let me try to get all this glare off the street. We'll do the best we can. That's the only thing we can do. We can do the best we can with what we got. Now let's go past Maria. This is a good restaurant that just opened up. Now it was originally closed for renovations, but it's totally open now. Well, let me try to see if I could do a little bit better job of getting this glare off the screen for you guys. Okay, I think we'll be good. Ah, here it is, Maria. Open for business. This is a great restaurant. It's a bit pricey, it's a bit expensive, but that's what you're gonna get. I mean, the environment in there is amazing. Just a great restaurant. I'm so glad it's open again. It was temporarily closed for renovations. And now it's back open. I think it was closed for like 3 to 4 months for renovations. I think Maria has a Michelin star, I think. So you have Maria right in the corner. Then you have Per Se, which is a French restaurant inside the Deutsche Bank Center. Now that's very expensive. You're probably gonna pay like $500 a head for that. And this is 220 Central Park South. This is the best-selling apartment building on New York City's Billionaires Row. Cooking is to usually eat out or eat at home. You know, when I'm in New York City, I'm not gonna lie, I eat out every night. It's almost impossible for me to cook anything. And I know that's probably an excuse and I'm being lazy, and I get that. But I can't find the time for it. But when I'm in Miami, I cook every night. Just because it's easier. I have a house, there's a workable kitchen, you know, it's more hustle and bustle, always on the go here. And plus, I don't really want to cook when I'm in New York because there's so much great quality food here. This may be a little bit controversial, but I believe that New York City has the best cuisine. So when I'm back in New York, I always get FOMO. I'm like, oof, I want to go to Sen tonight, or, you know, any of my other favorite spots. Stan says, does your roommates go with you? I don't have any roommates. At one point I did. At one time in my life. No roommates now, thank God. I always said, if the younger you are, you know, live like a hermit crab. So for the first 10 years of your working life, you should live with roommates, save every penny you have, invest it wisely, and then, you know, you won't have to deal with roommates ever again. So thank God. I've lived in some wild living situations. I've had probably the most bizarre living situations known to man in this city. All right, Alwyn Court once again. Now, my first official apartment, right, in New York City was actually right down this block, right near Columbus Circle. Now, I know what you're thinking. Whoa, Tom, Columbus Circle. You know, big rich guy, trust fund kid. No, it was my brother's friends from college. They had 5 people in a 3-bedroom apartment. And I was invited to a party one night, and I didn't really want to go, but I went anyway to do my brother a favor. And I was looking around the apartment, and I'm like, wow, this is a really nice walk-in closet. I said, I could live here. So I lived inside a walk-in closet in an apartment building for, I think, just over 3 years. And it was quite literally a walk-in closet. It was probably like 200 square feet. It was just enough to roll out a yoga mat to sleep. And I did that. And I spent $300 and I slept on a yoga mat for 3 years, a little bit more. And the reason why I did that is because I was commuting from Long Island. I was commuting from Massapequa. And that was like an hour trip to the city, an hour trip back. And I had to go to soccer practice, I had to go to college, I had to go to work. So I was burning myself out. So I was like, look, I'll sleep in this closet and I'll get up and I'll go to class, because I went to school just down the block at John Jay College of Criminal Justice, right? And then I went to soccer practice, then I went to work, and then, you know, I would get home at like 1 o'clock in the morning, quickly lay down on the yoga mat, wake up at 8 o'clock to go to class. Wow, Carnegie Hall, 57th Street and 7th Avenue. Seems like a lot of people are actually coming out now that the weather is improving, all but slowly but surely. Yeah, Amy T says some people believe sleeping on the floor is best. I believe that too. But then again, I was 17, 18 years old. So you're pretty much invincible at that age. I don't know if I have it in me to do that again. Let's see who's playing at Carnegie Hall tonight. Usually they have it posted at, right here. We can check who's playing tonight. Wow. So from March 6th to March 10th, you have Jason Moran. What do you guys think? Anybody been to Carnegie Hall? I'd love to go to a performance here. This is a great New York icon, but unfortunately there's all scaffolding all over it still. But when the scaffolding comes down, the facade is going to be totally restored. It's a complete restoration on the property. So it's going to look really good once the scaffolding comes down. And you're right next to the Russian tea room as well. We'll quickly get a shot at the Russian tea room, and then we'll head downtown for everybody. This is another, I don't really want to say New York City landmark, but it's a very iconic place, very famous, very well known. New York City's Russian tea room. Hey, Tracks 101. This was the John Jay College, your main college that you attended? I did, that was the main college I attended, for sure. Deborah has commuted from Massapequa after college, then got an Upper East Side studio. You know, and the commute's not all that bad from Long Island, honestly. The commute's not all that bad, but doing it every day is a little bit laborious. Now here is the 157 West 57th Street. If you guys want to see the last one-bedroom apartment sponsor unit, if you type !57 in the chat, I took a video of it for you guys. I think you're going to enjoy it. The last available sponsor unit. Pogo says, what is your opinion on the company Coinbase? Well, I've been watching it a lot, and I think, you know, I'm turning actually a little bit bullish on it because they've diversified their business model a little bit. So with all of these, so to speak, Bitcoin ETFs that are coming out, a portion of their business model is to have custody of a lot of these ETFs. So I think the Fidelity ETF self-custodies, because you know they have a whole division of the company, Fidelity Digital Assets. But there's a lot of other branded, and I can't rattle them off hand right now, but there's a lot of other branded ETFs that have Coinbase as the main custodian, or have custody, if you will. Let's just make our way through the crowd here. And we'll head downtown. It's good that it stopped raining just as the show's coming out. So what I was going to say about the broker dealers here for a moment, and I forgot to include this in the newsletter, but I didn't want the newsletter to be so long that it would bore people to sleep. But I'm starting to notice, you know, even brokerages like Robinhood catching a little bit of a bid here, and we can kind of use that as a market sentiment indicator, which means, you know, the bulls are running, so to speak. I'm not saying buy the stock. I would never buy the stock. But I always follow the price action of things like Coinbase and Robinhood to gauge investor sentiment, right? You know, the vast majority of people who use Robinhood, right, are retail type investors. A lot of them, you know, just I would say like unsophisticated type. You know, it was very popular. It was very popular during the whole meme stock nonsense. And I think Robinhood has questionable business practices, but I'll kind of keep my mouth shut about that. So you can kind of use that company or the price action of the company to gauge whether investor sentiment is high or low, particularly on Main Street. So all right, so we're going to take this all the way down. This is going to run us into the belly of the beast, so to speak, right in Times Square. Carl Roth's Tom, before Bitcoin, what did you use to gauge market sentiment? A lot of the micro caps. I mean, just the breadth in general of the market, right? A lot of the speculative junk stocks, like penny stocks, you know, if they're getting bid up, you know, that means there's some irrational exuberance in the market. Also, you could use junk bonds, right? Ticker symbol JNK. That is very, very poor credit quality. There's a lot of things that you could use to gauge like sentiment and risk, right? In a risk-on environment. And that's why I say, you know, you don't have to like Bitcoin, you don't have to buy, you don't even have to think about it. But you should kind of know where it's trading, because chances are if Bitcoin is getting bid up and if Ethereum is getting bid up, hold on, let me try to wipe the lens again. You know, if people are buying cryptocurrencies, you know, that means it's risk on. People are willing to take risk. Now, I think personally, Bitcoin is a safe haven asset, but hey, Carol H. Hey, Tom and friends, when are you coming to Miami? We will be there tomorrow night, please God. So I'm flying out around 6:30 p.m. That means I should land, again, please God, maybe at 9:30. I'm really excited to get back to Miami. I'm excited for the heat, the hot weather. Now, where this is all abandoned and blown out here, this used to be the Carnegie Deli. I know. Really unfortunate. The corner of West 55th Street and 7th. This used to be New York City's Carnegie Deli. It was an amazing deli here. Amazing, amazing place. And unfortunately, they couldn't afford the rent anymore. And I really wish they could have figured something out, the landlord and the tenant, because now there's nothing here. So, I don't know. It's a bummer. I think the whole building may be vacant. I'm not too sure. I see some lights on, but it just looks like, yeah, I mean, it looks like the building needs a lot of work. But if you guys are enjoying the live stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. And if you like the conversations that we have each and every night about New York City and the financial markets, we do send out a free investing newsletter to the group. It is called the Behind the Street newsletter. And if you scan the QR code on your screen and punch in your email, that'll take you to our Substack. We publish every other Thursday right as the market is closing. And we talk about US equities, emerging markets, fixed income, and New York City real estate property tours. So all of the greatest and best listings that we have, we bring them to you. Let me see if I can wipe the lens one more time. Please stand by. There we go. Hey, go for Hokies. What's up? Welcome, welcome. All of our viewers from Australia. Sophie M, what's up? Thanks so much for being here. Carol H, I was just in Miami Beach and it was beautiful. I'm jealous. Can't wait to be there. TD, Teresa Diaz. Pleasure as always. I still need to eat dinner tonight. Wonder what I'm gonna have. All right, let's continue onward, friends. You know where I may go tonight? and this is a recommendation for everybody too. It's not like the best food on earth, by the way, okay? But it's a nice environment, and I like it. It's called the Flame Diner. I'll say it one more time. It's called the Flame Diner. And it's not like the food is amazing. I mean, I wouldn't even consider the food to be like really good. It's just one of the original, you know, diners that are still left in the city. It's open 24 hours a day. And unfortunately, over the years, more and more diners have been going out of business because they just can't afford the rent. And I think that's one of the things that made New York City great, and Long Island, right? Whenever I'm back out on Long Island, I love going to a diner. I don't know why. The food's not even particularly like amazing, but it's just a great environment. See all the people. You know, a lot of locals in the neighborhood go, so maybe I'll go there. The Flame Diner. It's near John Jay College of Criminal Justice. Hey, go for Hokies. Tom, what are your thoughts on the current student loan situation? You know, I haven't really been following it. What is going on with the student loan situation? Are they forgiving the student loans now or something? I think I think the government's probably going to blunder this in a big way. Yeah, Optimus 17 says New Jersey has lots of fun diners as well. They do. I'm never really in New Jersey though that much. I really don't have a reason to go there, but you're 100% correct. New Jersey does have a lot of very fun and cool diners. DMs is the Flame, 9th Avenue and 58th Street. That's the one. Now, DM, there's also another one that's called the Olympic Flame. So not to be confused with the Olympic Flame Diner. I think that's a little bit further over. That one may be on 10th Avenue. And that one closes early. It's not open 24 hours a day. But look, I think with the student loan stuff, it's so messed up. And I think, you know, not to point the blame, but I think the government's to blame for the entire crisis anyway, in the first place, right? Because we've essentially guaranteed all these loans, which means, you know, if I want to walk into a loan office and take out $250,000 to go to college, it's automatically, you know, yeah, sure, we'll issue the loan, right? Doesn't matter how much money you make, doesn't matter your credit worthiness or your credit quality. And it's not like that in any other industry, right? If I want to buy a house and I want to get a mortgage, I go through very, very scrupulous underwriting. If I want to get a car, right? If I want to buy a car and I want to finance it, I have to go through some very, you know, meticulous underwriting. But not with student loans. It's just, hey, sign me up. And I think that's done more harm than good, because essentially that's created a situation where colleges and universities do not have to be price competitive. It takes out price discovery, right? Because if everybody could afford it and everybody can get the money, there's no incentive for colleges to stay competitive on price. If anything, it turns the incentivization structure on its head that says the bigger we grow, the more administrative staff we hire, the more, you know, swimming pools we build, the more we invest in athletics. You know, it's actually a big profit center for them. So you don't really need to worry about budgeting. If you look at the vast majority of budgets at colleges and universities, they always go up every year. And a lot of that is attributed to bloat, right? We always talk about stocks in corporate America. There's something called corporate bloat, right? We found that out with Meta. Meta had so much corporate bloat that Mark Zuckerberg is like, look, this is getting out of hand. This is ridiculous. We're going to have 2023 be the year of efficiency, and we're going to, you know, fire 25% of the business, or fire 25% of our employees, get really lean and mean, and double down on what we need to do. That doesn't happen in college and universities, because we guarantee all student loans. And I don't think forgiving the student loans will do anything. You're kind of putting a Band-Aid on the problem. You need to, you know, actually address the problem. So if you forgive all the student loans, they're just going to pile up again, right? What I would be in favor for, and this is controversial, but hey, and this will never happen, so it's actually not even worth talking about it. If you cancel all the student loans, say, look, we screwed up, cancel everything, but then we get the government out of the student loan business. We do not subsidize yet another loan. It's going to be very difficult for people to go to college for the next, 6-10 years. There's going to be a lot of colleges that go bankrupt, and the market will have a big reset. But that's never going to happen, so it's not even worth talking about it. So we just passed Barclays Investment Bank, which is a British investment bank, but this used to be Lehman Brothers. So Dick Fuld, who is the former CEO of Lehman Brothers when they collapsed and kicked off the great financial crisis, a lot of those documentaries are filmed right at this front entrance right here at Lehman Brothers, which is now, well, Barclays. Hey, Jonathan from Florida, what's up? Lance is here. What's up, Lance? All right, so we are now just headed into the main area of Times Square. There's actually a lot of people out and about tonight. Seems like tourist activity is picking up. And I feel like the temperature actually just warmed up like 20 degrees. It's kind of nice out. This is the M&M store. Now, I remember when I was a kid, there was a Hershey store here. I think it closed down. Oh, look at that. I've never even noticed this. The M&M guy on the Empire State Building. Stan says, I want to walk some Wall Street shirt. A viewer sent me an amazing gift to my office. And thank you, by the way. I won't say your name because I don't know if you want to be out there, but a viewer sent me 2 really nice Walk Some Wall Street coffee mugs. And I have them on my desk, and I'm really appreciative for that. You don't need to send me anything, you don't need to give me anything, but I really do appreciate that. One of them says Walk Some Wall Street Miami, one of them says Walk Some Wall Street New York City. So I'm really appreciative for your gift, it's very kind. And they're on my desk at the office every day. So thank you. Now, did anybody hear Jensen, the CEO of NVIDIA? He came out and he said, you actually shouldn't be sending your kids to college to learn to code anymore because AI is going to be doing all of that for us. Did anybody see that? I was actually quite shocked to hear that. I'm curious what your thoughts are on that. So the CEO of NVIDIA comes out and says that the new generation should not learn how to code. I don't know how I feel about that, but then again, I'm not Jensen. I'm not the smartest guy in the entire universe. So maybe we should listen to him and not me. All right, I think it's gonna be a little bit too crowded, so let's actually head west. We'll go to New York City's Restaurant Row. This is the W Hotel. There's also another W Hotel and Tower in Lower Manhattan. The building has incredible views, but there's a lot of problems with the elevators. Trades, yes, he's probably right. However, validation will be the next big step. Who double checks AI's work? It's going to be so strange to see how things evolve over the next 10 years with AI. I feel as if AI is going to get so smart and it makes our life so easy that we're not going to be super sharp on our own skills, right? But then again, you know, maybe even further down the line, we're going to have chip implants with Elon Musk. These are a lot of the theaters for the Broadway shows here. Deborah says again, go to college for cybersecurity. Yeah, cybersecurity is very, very high in demand. That was actually my 2024 thesis, was cybersecurity. Now, I've sold cybersecurity software back in my day. I sold a lot of it. Code proof, which is more of like a mobile device, MDM, like an enterprise EMM kind of cybersecurity. But yeah, I totally agree with that.
And it was when you were making that.
And you know, to Deborah's point, if you think about what year it is, this is 2024. This is an election year, folks. So if you don't think that there's going to be foreign entities, you know, not only trying to attack, you know, private infrastructure. Look at this pizza. Not only trying to attack private entities, but, you know, U.S. government infrastructure. I think you're going to be, you know, unpleasantly surprised. Pizza actually doesn't look that great, to be honest. Not being negative, just doesn't look that great. All right, let's see where we got to go here. Let's go to Restaurant Row. Might as well. Hey, Mark Francis, what's up? Had DeFara Pizza in New York. The strongest bull markets I've ever seen in my entire life. This is risk on. This is where you make, this is what dreams are made of, man. I mean, this has been some of the best times ever. I mean, some of these TMLs have already moved 500%. Already. Oops, we overpassed. We'll cross the street on the other side, and then we'll go down. This is the firehouse. Let's watch the FDNY pull in here. They close off the street. feel like I'm walking through a cloud here. So this is, where's the Ghostbusters building? I have no idea. I've never seen Ghostbusters, but if you tell me where it is, I'll take you there. I will go. Isabella says, have you been to Quality Meats House in Quality Italian? Well, I think Quality Meats, I believe there's multiple locations, but the one that I'm familiar with is on 58th Street and 6th Avenue, I believe. I have not been there. I have not been there. Okay, West 46th Street is Restaurant Row. So if you're looking at, going to a Broadway show or something like that, near Times Square, and you need a quick place to eat, just come here to New York City's Restaurant Row, West 46th Street and 8th. Let's see how busy it is down here. 1515 Broadway is the Ghostbusters building, according to Pete. Thank you, Pete. Smells good. Gorgeous. I make my own pizza. My family likes it and it's cheaper. Nice. What kind of pizza are you making? You making like the really, really flat crust? Is it more Chicago style? What are we working with here? This is Dim Sum Palace.
I wanted 4 different ones.
There used to be so many outdoor dining sheds all along this road. This is my favorite spot on Restaurant Row, Becco, right here. It's good food, it's decent, and it's cheap. You can get the pasta trio. So they have 3 specific house pastas every single night, and it's unlimited portions. So they come around and give you unlimited pasta. It's very good. So you get the pasta trio. I would recommend the antipasta to start off. You can get a Caesar salad or the antipasta. I would highly recommend the antipasta. Actually looks like it's kind of dead in there tonight. So here's the special, right? You choose one, an antipasta or the salad, and then they have these 3 pastas. It's $34.95 a head, which is actually pretty good. It's actually very good. That's what I'd recommend to get here. And then at the conclusion of your dinner, you can get like a coffee or something, which is great. right here, Becco. I know, I saw that too, the Deadhead, the Grateful Dead.
I remember we came this week, so. Huh?
Yeah, it's not bad prices at all. Now, is it going to be the best Italian food you ever had in your life? No, it's good. I say it's good. It's solid. But it's affordable. And it's a fun environment, too, if you go there with your family or your friends or something like that. Okay, welcome to Hell's Kitchen. Jade 112 says, when's your next trip back to Miami? In about 16 hours. We're going to be flying out tomorrow night, which is great. Yeah, I forgot to turn on the DVR tonight, which I apologize for. But you will be able to watch the replay at the conclusion of the stream. I just totally forgot to turn it on tonight, which I apologize for. But if you guys are enjoying the live stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. We start these live streams every night at 8:30. And we go for about 2 hours. There used to be a really good pizza spot up here. I forget the name, but I'll keep my eyes peeled for it. It was like this little hole in the wall place. This is 5 Napkin Burger. It's all right. 5 Napkin Burger is all right. I'll give you a visual of all the storefronts here. Now, Hell's Kitchen has a lot of these pre-war buildings, right? Hell's Kitchen is known for its nightlife. A lot of bars, a lot of restaurants. Bradley just ate at a really good Thai place in Hell's Kitchen. Bradley, if you're looking for a good Thai place, my friend owns 2 restaurants. One is on the Upper West Side. It's called Sen, S-E-N-N. Very good. And the other one is in Brooklyn, New York, and it's called Tong, T-O-N-G. If you decide to go, let me know. Shoot me a text or shoot me an email before you go, and I'll make sure they take care of you over there. But really good spots. So Sen is, I believe, on West 83rd Street, right on Amsterdam. And Tong, I mean, I couldn't even tell you where it is. I don't know the street, but I know it's in Brooklyn. It's far. I remember the last time I went, I had to take the train and I had to get on a city bike to go there. But yeah, 2 great Thai places, Sen and Tong. Sorry about that. Now, we're approaching Port Authority Bus Terminal. So, have your seatbelts on, everybody. Now, if you bang this right on 42nd Street and you go all the way down to 9th and 10th Avenue, there's actually a lot of new development over there, particularly luxury condominiums. Now, here's the downside, though, in a lot of those buildings. There's only 4 elevator banks that service over 500 units. And a lot of them rent really well because, you know, international students who are just coming to New York City for the first time, they get attracted by a lot of the really nice views that these apartments have, right? You can see all the way into Times Square, you can see the water, but it'll take you 15 minutes to get to your apartment because the elevators, I mean, there's like 4 elevators that service all those units. So this is a little bit of a forewarning. You know, if you're looking to rent or buy in New York City, you would totally not even think to, you know, say, you know, how fast are the elevators, and how frequent do the elevators go down? And if you have 4 elevator banks servicing, you know, over 500 units, that means they're getting used and abused 24/7, 365, which also means that they're going to go down more often because there's going to be a lot of wear and tear. So just a quick FYI there. 42nd Street, if you go all the way down here, that is the belly of the beast into Times Square. If you go all the way down here, this will run you into the Hudson River and also the Intrepid Museum too. Now, when the weather isn't so horrible, we'll be spending a lot more time on the west side of Manhattan, particularly in and around the Hudson River, checking out the Intrepid. You'll notice the live streams tend to evolve based upon the weather. When the weather is really nice, we spend a lot of time in Lower Manhattan, Stone Street, Lower East Side, the Bowery, we spend a lot of time. But in the winter, we kind of just hibernate towards Billionaires Row. That's like our hibernation. Walks on Wall Street, hibernation on 57th Street. Now, this place is actually pretty good. This is a Mediterranean Turkish cuisine. You can get like gyro and things like that here. It's very good. I want to say this place is relatively new. Maybe like a year or 2. We'll check out the menu, might as well. Or you can get a plate. You can get like a mix over rice, something like that. David says, what is the name of the dive bar nearby where the Wall Street Journal reporter faked his dispatches from? I don't even know about that story, to be honest. I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? Fake dispatches. I don't know. Not too sure. So this is one of the entrances to the Lincoln Tunnel, and then this is the very back of the Port Authority bus terminal. You also have a dollar slice pizza place. However, due to the inflation, it is now $1.50 slice pizza place. Isn't that crazy? These used to be all 99-cent pizza shops. Now they're all $1.50 slice. Sign of the times, guys. Sign of the times. Thanks, Fed Chair Jerome Powell. Now, we always like to play a little game every time we come down 8th Avenue. Hold on, let's make this light. No, this isn't 8. This is 9.
You got online?
We always count how many smoke shops there are. It's just south of 42nd Street.
Yeah, south.
David says he pretended to be on the job. Oh, but he was just in a bar. I feel like everybody does that at least once in their life. Yeah, I'm hard at work, you know. Now this will run us right into the Hudson Yards. All right, we got one smoke shop. So the counter is now at 1. We got one right there. You guys keeping track? So just the game is south of 42nd Street on 9. Until 34th Street, how many smoke shops will we run into? So we got one on the other side of the street. We got 2 and 1 right here. So this is 2, smoke shop number 2, and a dispensary, so we'll count that too. So we got 3. Yeah, Jade's Hudson Yards was so nice when I went. Hudson Yards is amazing. Hudson Yards is absolutely fantastic. They did such a good job. Maybe we'll have enough time to go there tonight. It doesn't actually seem to be too windy. Now, BlackRock has moved their corporate headquarters in New York City from the east side of Manhattan to 50 Hudson Yards. That is now the corporate headquarters of BlackRock. And that's been a big trend, right? A lot of these, big companies, particularly in finance, have been breaking a lot of their leases in some of the older buildings and upgrading their space to a lot of these Class A office towers. Particularly at the Hudson Yards, 1 Vanderbilt, and 425 Park Avenue too, which is the temporary headquarters of Citadel Securities. 4, we got one right here, smoke shop number 4. Oh yeah, that's right. Noah's EY is there too. They are there. I believe the NHL Accenture is there. JP Morgan Chase may have a little office there, I think. And also KPMG. All right, so 4, 5, here's one. Sleek luxury cannabis. This is bougie cannabis. This is Upper East Side cannabis here in Hell's Kitchen. Oops, should we count this? Hold on. I'll have to go to the chat. This is technically not on 9th. Should we count this smoke shop or no? I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. It's technically not on 9th. It's on 37th Street. So that's up to you. All right, let's cross. All right, we're about 50-50 on that one. We'll leave that up in the air for now. Whoops, I almost missed that one. It's small, but it counts. It's small, but it counts. Greenland Smoke Shop. I mean, that thing must be like 200 square feet on the inside. Almost missed it. Speaking of the Hudson Yards is all over here, but it's a little bit too cloudy. You can't even see. see it right now. So as we get a little bit closer, we'll check it out. Oh, boom, look, we got two more. 2 for 1. 2 for 1 deal. The Breeze Club and the Good Tree. So the Good Tree right here, and then we have the Breeze Club. So what is the total now we got, guys? I think that brings us over 6. I think that brings our total to 6 smoke shops. I don't know, kind of lost count. Oof, we got another smoke shop again, but technically not on 9th Avenue. So again, it's on 36th Street, technically not on 9th. So maybe we'll count them as a half. We'll do 0.5. 0.5.
Yesterday I was 21.
All right, we're gonna be coming up on, oops, I think I need to plug in my phone. The internet's, not the internet, my phone's gonna die soon. But we're gonna be coming up on B&H, which is a great electronics store in New York City. Look at that. You have the New Yorker Hotel sign. I wonder how much it is to park monthly here. $591. $591 a month. Oops, we got 2 more smoke shops here. Keys & Co. and then another dispensary. And we got B&H. All right, let me plug in my phone for a minute and we'll pick back up. Quick intermission. All right, we're back in action. This is B&H Photo, Video, and Pro Audio. But if you guys are enjoying the live stream so far, feel free to leave a like on the video and click the subscribe button if you're new. We do these streams every night starting at 8:30. And here we are. This is 1 Manhattan West and 2 Manhattan West. This is part of the Hudson Yards development. It's almost so cloudy that you can't even really see it. And then this is the Moynihan Train Hall, as well as the very famous Madison Square Garden. Hey, Combat Jones, Tom, do you think X has improved or declined after the Musk takeover? I think X has improved materially. I think that's a good question to ask the audience too. Now, what do we think? Do we think X, Twitter, right? Twitter X, has improved since the Elon Musk takeover, or has gotten worse? What do you think? Improved or declined? This is a pretty cool shot here. Dave's is not interested in X. Someone says X has improved. Someone says it's the same. Chris is worse. There's too many bots. Michelle says I'm not on X, so I can't say. Improved. Well, I think it also depends in which circles you're running in, because Twitter, financial Twitter, is a really, really amazing place, right? No other platform has very, very highly credible people in the finance world, you know, sharing their ideas openly. It's an amazing place. Yeah, David says X is fabulous. Love the Spaces functionality. I used to use Spaces a lot. I don't use it as much as I think I should anymore. I just think Elon should really, really improve the video aspect. I think if they go all in on video, I think they're gonna crush it. All right, welcome to 34th Street, Penn Station. We get the AC and E trains right here. You know, it looks like something's going on in Madison Square Garden. Was there a concert or a game or something like that? Seems like a lot of people out. But this is the entrance to the Moynihan Train Hall. This is the brand new train station. You get the Amtrak and Long Island Railroad. Chris says they have a problem with bots and comments for most posts. You know, Chris, that's true, and that's kind of why I refrain. If you notice, if you look at my Twitter page, I refrain from, you know, posting analysis about Bitcoin, because the moment I do, I get hammered with, you know, spam bots saying, "Oh, click here to buy this coin," and this. I don't want to be involved in any of that. So, you know, it's like somebody has an API that scans all X posts that have, you know, Bitcoin in it, and then it automatically posts these like pump and dump schemes. So I've seen that as well. I've definitely seen that as well. I still have accounts, not often, but every now and then, they'll make the same exact profile as me. They'll put the same exact content in their profile, and then they'll message people that I follow and say, hey, send Bitcoin to this address and I'll trade it for you, which is obviously a scam, but you never know. That's another thing. I will never email, text, DM on any platform ever to anybody asking you for money or Bitcoin. 10 times out of 10, they're all fraud accounts. Look at this, we got a huge big rig. 15 wheeler here. But just a quick announcement while everybody's here. I did send out our investing newsletter on Thursday. We covered a lot, we talked about a lot, particularly emerging markets. We spent a lot of time on Japan, we spent a lot of time on India and Mexico, mainly talking about the reshoring that's going to happen, the global supply chain shakeup. So if you want to receive all of our free equity research every other Thursday right as the market closes, just go ahead and scan the QR code on your screen and punch in your email, and that'll take you to our Substack. We publish on our Substack every other week, and it's mainly markets focused, equities, but we also include a lot of New York City real estate property tours there as well. So check us out. If you haven't already signed up, if you have, check your email, and thank you all for reading. Appreciate it very much. In the meantime, let's try to find out who's playing at MSG tonight. And then we'll just quickly do a walk around the perimeter. This is the brand new Pen 2 project put on by Vornado, Steve Roth's company. And this is all meant to revitalize. There's Billy Joel, what's going on? This is meant to revitalize the Penn District, which I think it's doing a really good job in doing that. We could check out the new entrance too. They made an entirely new entrance to MSG. Now this Trax sports bar used to be on the inside of Penn Station. But they were forced to relocate due to the renovation. Justin says Elton John or Billy Joel. Billy Joel, for sure. I really don't even listen to Elton John's music, to be honest. I really only listen to Billy Joel, right out of those two. All right, favorite Billy Joel song? Put it in the chat. What do we think? If you can only listen to one Billy Joel song for the rest of your life, what is it going to be? I think if I could only listen to one Billy Joel song for the duration of my entire life, take some time to think about that. Well, I'm thinking this is the Penn District. All right, let's actually avoid that. Too tight of a crowd to maneuver through. And I don't want to get stuck in all that. So this is the brand new Pen 2 project. Pretty cool. This is now 7th Avenue. I think I'd say maybe Italian restaurant. Or moving out, maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of great songs by Billy Joel. So everybody, this is the brand new and improved Penn Station. This is the brand new entrance to Madison Square Garden. And I think they did a really, really good job. Looks very futuristic. Look at everybody coming out of the MSG here. Hey, Papa Smurf, the OG. What's up? Say, Tom, good to see you. Thanks so much. We have the FDNY in the building. Thanks for joining us. I think I'm gonna head over to Koreatown because I'm gonna get something to eat there anyway. Ladder 24. Now, has anybody ever had tteokbokki Korean food? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Tteokbokki. So good. It's kind of like a rice cake dish. It's a little bit spicy. Before I go back to Miami, I think that's what I'm gonna get. Sunshine NYC says you made Korean stir fry tonight. Very nice. Now, I want to go to LA this summer. Hopefully there's some good Korean spots in Los Angeles. The building was called EOS, E-O-S. All right, everybody, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark here. So I think it's a good place to say goodbye. So I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. 2 walks in Wall Street. I may or may not see you all tomorrow night. If we do, we will be a little bit warmer and there'll be palm trees blowing around all over the place in downtown Miami and Brickell. So if you enjoyed the live stream, feel free to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and if you want to sign up for our free investing newsletter, scan the QR code on your screen and punch in your email. We send out our Substack every other Thursday after the market closes. And thank you all for reading, because it's been growing quite well. And I appreciate it very much. So Optimus 17, Ed Dunkel, the one and only CPA. Michelle, Tariq Khan, Mohammed, thanks so much. Hawaii, all of our moderators, Sunshine NYC and Sunshine New York City, and Sunshine After Rain. Sharon, appreciate it. There's always a bull market somewhere. You just need to know where to look. I'm gonna go get some Korean food. All right, everybody, be safe, God bless, and enjoy your weekend.